The anime Demon Slayer is set in Japan, and it's all about demon hunters fighting only with their katana. There are many anime which uses the real world as inspiration for their content while being mindful on the amount of time these references are used while keeping it as minimalistic as possible. Demon Slayer, on the other hand, has a fair amount of connections to Japanese history. More so than what most people think. Hey guys, what's up? This is Kyle from Varistudiostv, and today we will be getting a history lesson. I know, some of us find history pretty boring. How about we throw a little spice into the mix? How about I tell you about 10 historical connections that the anime Demon Slayer has to the real world, primarily in Japan. Sounds a bit more fun, doesn't it? So without further ado, let's begin. So at our number 10 spot, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba is set in the Taisho period of Japan's history. Most anime styles take heavy influences from the Edo period, a time of samurai and impoverished citizens, where a man can truly live by his sword. But Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba seems to have picked the 15-year time called the Taisho period. This period took place right after the Edo period and has a very harsh contrast between the levels of civilization and technology. It's why Tanjiro was so surprised by the lights and technology in Tokyo. We think the artist was pretty great in showing this very small space in Japan's history. Wouldn't it be awesome to see the Demon King of Pop driving a car? Maybe? How about Inosuke? Now that would be awesome to see him driving a car. We already talked about the background of the Taisho period, but we need to look into the stark contrast between the countryside and the city more. This is where fact number 9 comes from. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba is set in a period of history where the development was at a huge divide. There isn't a comparison to this particular period in history compared to the rest of the world that gradually improved over time. The only thing that can come close to that is World War I, where soldiers started the war on horseback and ended up in tanks. Seriously, when Tanjiro and the rest of the gang are going into the city, they think that a train is a monster set out to murder them. Well, more along the lines for just Inosuke. Seriously, I love his reaction. It seems so genuine. Even the police at the station find it suspicious for people to be carrying around katana, because this was a time of change and diversity, and more modern way of thinking. For a charcoal salesman like Tanjiro, Tokyo might seem like it's magic. Well dressed. Here comes our number 8. The Demon Hunter uniforms are based on the military uniforms of the period. For all those not familiar with Japanese history, Demon Hunters look like they're wearing school uniforms like most Shonen Jump anime protagonists. These aren't based off Japanese school uniforms though, but rather the military garb at the time. Even stranger, the same school uniforms were modeled after these same military garbs, rather than the other way around. It may seem like the anime is portraying a lighthearted school anime with these uniforms, however, in fact, they're actually being just a little bit coy in covering it up, with a little mature level of anime-filled content. Maybe that's why we love it so much. Being honest, I totally thought they were school uniforms, just to show you how much I know. Is it just me, or are we having a masquerade party? No? Just me? Number 7 on this list is Urokodaki's mask reference Japanese folklore. The previous water pillar, Urokodai wears a mask to hide both his face and his feelings. In fact, he always has a new one for every student he's had. But many people may not know is that he tends to use beings from Japanese folklore for his creation. His very own mask is called the Tengu. It's been known to ward off evil spirits, much like demons. This is not usual for demon slayers to wear masks on a whole. They usually don't have them. Isn't it time we had a look at the titular character himself? What's up with those earrings? Swinging in at number 6, we will be looking at the mystery of Tanjiro's Hanafuda earrings. Tanjiro's Hanafuda earrings are a topic of much debate on forums, on websites, even to this very day. Why, you ask? 1, it's a pretty popular anime. 2, there's still no confirmation of why they're there in the first place. They were worn by an ancestor of his, or at the very least, Breath of a Sun user. But we don't know what their design refers to, or how they were passed down to him. Hanafuda cards in Japanese playing cards, for most of them, are based off flowers. Apparently, Tanjiro's are flowers as well. However, there's no card that has a specific symbol on them like Tanjiro's. But hey, we can speculate, can't we? The Wisteria and Spider Lily flowers play a big part in Demon Slayer. This is where number 5 comes from. Wisteria flowers have a history in Japan. These are the only fauna that can actually hurt demons. However, there's no connection to the sun at all. Still, there are Hanafuda cards based off the Wisteria flower. They are also known as the immortal flowers that can take over any area wherever they're planted, like the aggressive little buggers they are. That's not all. Muzan's storyline becomes heavily connected to the blue spider lily. These flowers also have a heavy connection in Japanese history. They're known as the flowers of death, being commonly mistaken for flowers that grow next to graves. Seems fitting. If you can kind of squint while looking at both of them, they can both seem like light and dark. It's time to moonwalk right on to number 4. Muzan's clothes are a reference to Japanese recently opened borders. Many people were incredibly surprised to see Muzan's family in the earlier episodes. This isn't the only undercover identity that he has. What's more interesting is the obvious European style dress that he sports. Where did he get those clothes? Well, from Michael Jackson himself. Just kidding. This actually ties back to the Taisho period, where Japan has just opened its borders to the rest of the world, allowing new influences to come in. Just another micro detail that makes the time period feel a little more realistic and believable. Who else thought that Muzan was the reincarnation of Michael? Anyone? Turns out, a lot of the fashion sense in Demon Slayer is based off actual Japanese history. At number 3, the Tabi socks we commonly see are period relevant. The ankle warmers everyone seems to be wearing is called kyahan and were under padding for samurai. The two-toed socks that they all wear are known as tabi, a very traditional style of foot covering in the time period. And even the sandals are known as zori. And again, it makes sense for the time period. Samurai weren't wandering the countryside in the green and black checkered jackets or wearing pig masks. Most of the normal clothing does have historical significance. Even Nezuko's odd leg warmers and overall garb makes sense for living in the snowy mountains, as the Kamado family has done. A common part of Asian history is the use of paper talismans for mysticism or magic, which is pretty commonplace. So you guessed what's coming in at number 2. We will be looking at Talismans reference. With Japan in particular, Onmyedo is the premier example. Practitioners of the art would be called Onmyeji and would go around certain rituals and symbols to battle the supernatural. This has been spread to the very anime we watch and enjoy, including Demon Slayer. Tamayo's assistant uses similar principles and symbolism with blood demon art. There aren't many direct symbols that were taken from the Onmyeji text, but it's obviously that or Chinese Taoism, which is similar. Hey guys, September is Anipalooza month, and thank you so much for getting this far in the video. We here at Varistudios will be focusing on 2 anime this month, Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan. Within these videos, there may be one code. It'll give you $100 on Amazon. It can be within the video, the description, or we may decide to post it in the comment. So eagle-eyed viewers, make sure you stay tuned. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Now let's continue the video. Why are crows so common in anime? This is what flies in at our number 1 spot. Tons of anime protagonists are compared to ravens or crows. Like Haiku's protagonists are known as the Karasuno crows, and the entire Demon Slayer force communicates using crows. Why though? Well, in America, pigeons are staples of communication back in the day. But in Japan, it was crows. Crows are a bit larger than American pigeons, more intelligent, and more respected. Japanese relationships with crows is a bit more respectful than in the West. So obviously, Demon Slayer chose to use these aviators as their main method of communication. It's only common knowledge that they're absolutely everywhere, and it's a plus that they're super smart. Now you see why they're used so much in Game of Thrones. I mean, it's so obvious. You didn't know that? Congratulations! You are amazing for watching the video to the end. I really bet you enjoyed this. If you did, and you agree with this list, or maybe not, maybe I missed some of your favorites, go ahead and leave a comment. Have any other video ideas? No problem. Hit us up on Instagram or Twitter for more. And join us again for the next video where we give you incredible information and great lists. Peace out.